Check 1, 2, Fat Mac Almighty Triple XL. Chiming in one time for your mind. Once again, man, yeah, me and the player partner, man, Nigga Fuchsia's Tony Dreamer, Eric Magnus, man, we back in the game. And, boy, yeah, I took me a little break, man. I'd like to apologize to all the fellas, man. I have not been responding to emails and text messages. You know, I just, even though I do not celebrate the holidays, you know, but my babies celebrate the holidays, man. You know what I mean? As far as my females. So I've been kind of, I've been putting in that work with them, you know, doing my thing. So I've been kind of preoccupied, man. But while I was, you know, getting my little groove on with my babies, man, I've been missing a lot of stuff that's been going on on YouTube and on social media with these pro-black niggas flipping the fuck out, man. Yeah, man. All the players been hitting me up saying, man, are you seeing this shit? And I'm like, nah, man, what's going on? So for the past 2 days, I've been kind of boning up on what's been going on. And my God, man, the fat tricks with money, you know, we are prophetic. We damn near almost always right, man. So I got my partner on the phone, and we're going to have to chime in on this ridiculousness that we seeing, man. So tell me, Tony, what do you think about this nonsense that's going on in the so-called conscious community?
You want the long, protracted explanation, or you want the short and to the point?
Man, shit, I want both, nigga. I want it all. I want the whole kid caboodle, man. Give me the long, protracted one.
The long, protracted explanation is this.
Yeah.
Whenever you get any type of movement based upon people that are on the fringes of society,
okay,
you're going to have a problem.
All right.
You're going to have a problem because these people come from all types of experiences of abuse. They come from all types of poverty. They come from all type of reprobate backgrounds, probably due to no cause of their own, for a lot of different reasons and explanations. You know, when you try to organize these people, it's going to be a problem because these people have been conditioned into a certain type of behavior, a certain code of behavior. And trying to organize them, you have to fight against that behavior. You have to enact a code of discipline. I ain't going to use the word code of conduct. You got to have a code of discipline. Because if you don't have a code of discipline, everything just flies off the rail and shit implodes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and what it is here is you got a group of, I told you, the government don't have to do anything.
Right.
This ain't the white man.
Mm-hmm.
And the FBI is not involved.
Right.
The New York police is not involved. This is just some nigga shit.
All right, well, check this out. Check this out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw out some scenarios with some cats, and you go ahead and you chime in and let me know what you think, okay? Brother Polite and Sarnetta. Sarnetta believes that Brother Polite basically left him hanging and forgot where he came from, and he done moved out to Hollywood with the white folks and shit, man. And I don't know, what do you think's going on with them two brothers, man? Is that just sour grapes with Sarnetta, or does, you know, Polite have a point with, you know, the things that he's been speaking these days about how ignorant the pro-black circle is?
I think it's a little of both.
Okay.
I think when people start to grow and when people get access to things, you know, they can't stay in the same box. Muhammad Ali said a man who thinks the same way at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life.
No doubt. Right.
Okay. So changes occur. We all go through changes. We change, you know, how we look at the world, and we change how we see things because we get older.
Right.
And we mature. Well, some of us mature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think he changed the way he saw things, and I think he's right. Mm-hmm. You know, that I'm just gonna call it how it is. You know, here's the short definition: these pro-black niggas are savages, man. I'm telling you, man. And people gonna have a problem with me saying that. I know some people gonna say, "Oh, you just elitist and you looking your nose down." No, I'm not, man. These niggas are savages. Why? Because when you take these people out of the most disparate situations, when you take them out of the worst conditions, and you try to, you know, put them in an organization, you have to have a disciplinary code that will check this kind of behavior and socialize them into a working unit. Now, I had a lot of criticism on the Malcolm X podcast about
Elijah?
Nation of Islam.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you, when the FOI is organized, it can't be beat.
Right. Right.
When they are organized under a code of discipline, I won't say conduct, but under a code of discipline, those men can't be beat. Period. And the reason they have that, even though you and I may not be able to submit to that type of rigid discipline, those guys are respected and admired. Those brothers are respected and admired simply because they submit themselves to that rigid code of discipline. That's what gives them, the indignation and the righteous indignation that they have, because they're coming from a position where they are very disciplined. And if you don't have that, you will have some street nigga shit, some hood nigga shit that will destroy anything that you try to build. And you will have the regurgitation of that hood nigga shit in different colors. Instead of red and blue, it's red, black, and green with some beads around it, some kente cloth, and all the other type of alternative lifestyles. But the real truth of it is, that stuff that they're talking about is I agree with what Umar said. It's old information. It's antiquated. And I don't think that any of these people have engaged in any type of study of African philosophy. When people said it, we really don't understand what African philosophy is, but African philosophy is not color-based.
Okay.
It isn't. It really isn't. So when KRS jumped out there and said, he said, the deepest part about being black is being African, and the deepest part about being African is being human, he knows what he's talking about. Because African philosophy and religion is notoriously practical. But the problem is it doesn't ignore a metaphysical reality. It doesn't ignore spiritual reality. It combines everything, but it is notoriously practical. They will walk around here talking about, I hear people walking around here talking about consciousness and Pan-African, but I have never heard anybody say anything about the philosophical practice of Ubuntu, UBUNTA, which is a philosophy that is so humane. It is the backbone of any community. It is a philosophy where a community is thoroughly united and in tune with each other. And it goes like this. If you have something, if I have something and you need it, I give it to you. If I have bread and meat in my refrigerator and you have none, it is my responsibility to make sure you eat. That is a simple practice. It's not complicated. In other words, everybody in the village or everybody in the community has a responsibility for the other person's welfare, period. Deviant behavior is not tolerated, but there's always a council of elders, and this is what kills me about that, that pro-black, thing where everybody wants to be a leader. And that's where the problems are coming in.
Exactly.
Everybody want to be a leader. And so what you got are these personality clashes. But that is not consistent with, African philosophy. It's not even consistent with the history of African civilizations because, as you very well know, the kings and the pharaohs were not the most powerful people in Africa. It was the priest class. There was always a power behind the throne. The Africans never trusted total authority. They had already had that experience with early pharaohs. They never trusted total autonomy in the hands of in the hands of one person, because they knew motherfuckers could become corrupt. They understood that reality. You understand? So there was always a power behind the throne. Whereas in North Africa, it was the priest class. On the west and in eastern portions or western and eastern portions of the continent, or in the interior, as Sheikh Antadia points out, there was always a council of elders that sat behind the throne. But what these niggas is practicing, they're practicing just a black form of monarchy. And that's why they can't get along.
Head nigga in charge shit.
There you go. It was a book that came out called The Head Nigga personality conflicts are. The personality conflicts come from the fact that a lot of these niggas want to be in charge, and their conflicts are bouncing off against each other. And then when you have the capitalist ethic of competition, that only intensifies the problem, that exacerbates the problem. So now you got some people saying, look, this is the way it should be. Well, how do you know this is the way it should be? It's, nigga, I said it. Never mind if it's the truth. It becomes, because I said so, nigga. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. And so, as you well know, the conscious community is full of a lot of dogmatism.
Yeah.
That's another thing as to why it doesn't work. You know? Everybody believes that they have the absolute truth, you know, as to how the community functions. That's why I'm going to tell you, again, historically speaking, the most effective organizations, even though they throw off on the concept of nonviolence,
right,
the civil rights movement was more practical and more African than anything in the Black Power movement, with the exception of the Black Panther Party. And the reason I say that is because, one, the civil rights movement put policy on the books. You can argue about the effectiveness of the policy all day long, or has it been watered down or dwindled down, but they put policy on the books. Adam Clayton Powell, as a Christian minister, put policy on the books. Dr. Martin Luther King and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and SNCC and the NAACP, you can call them an organization that, you know, that is of light-skinned black people, all you know, the politics, the interracial politics of color. You can use that to critique them all you want to, but at the end of the day, they put policy on the books. See, that pro-black sector, again, with the exception of the Black Panther Party, they don't put policy on the books. They just wander around an abstract philosophy that doesn't even have any roots or relation to, you know, African history, principles, or civilization. It's just a bunch of niggas want to be king.
Mm-hmm. Well, check this out. Let me go ahead and ask you, and I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to say when I ask you this. When Brother Polite basically said that there's a lot of people in the black community, especially in the ghettos, who act like animals. Do you agree with that?
Of course.
Okay, well, I'm trying to figure out why is it, it's got to be an IQ situation, why most of these niggas out here can't comprehend what the fuck he's saying. It's like, you know, everybody's like, well, not all, why do people always say that shit? Of course.
You know why they say it?
Because they guilty of it. Shit.
It's them.
Yep.
you know the saying, if you throw a stone into a pack of dogs, the one that hollers is the one that got hit?
Yeah, man. Uh-huh.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of these niggas is who he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody with any common sense would know you're not talking about all people.
Right.
But there is a degree of savagery. I mean, you can't say that it isn't.
Right.
You know, and or what they do, they say, well, that's just a sliver or a minuscule. No, it's not.
Right.
It's not. We have in the black community a culture of just stupidity. Mm-hmm. We have a culture of stupidity and a culture of anti-intellectualism in the black community. And when anybody says that, they say you're practicing a form of elitism. You think it's not the case. I think this is just basic observation. Mm-hmm. This is just basic observation. And then we're going through this thing where we're trying to normalize our dysfunction.
Yeah. We're
trying to make that shit regular. You know, and that shit is abnormal as fuck. So they're skewing the lines of what's normal and what's abnormal because they're trying to shape their reality around their dysfunction instead of changing their conduct.
Okay, let me hit you with this next question, okay? And I pretty much know the answer, you know, myself, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you. Do you think Polite is a con man?
Do I think Polite is a con man?
Yeah.
I think that there have been some charges, but I've never really investigated it.
Okay.
I heard that they had banned his PayPal or something like that.
Yeah, they froze that. Yeah.
You know, so usually PayPal only bans you when there's a claim for you not paying for a product or not rendering a product that someone is paid for, or not rendering a service that is paid for. If PayPal, because I'm on PayPal, I run my business on PayPal.
Right.
And I know how PayPal functions. If it's the slightest thing with that account, they start withholding, disbursement of your money. So if PayPal is withholding his money, it's a problem. And there's an old saying, where there's smoke,
there's fire.
There's fire.
Yeah, he's notorious for like taking people's orders and taking people's money and not giving them the product, man. I mean, that's been a big thing for the past 2 years.
There's a lot of that going around because people taking donations and not coming out with movies, but that's another subject.
Not coming out with schools either.
Not coming out with schools, taking people's money and not coming out with schools either. So, it's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, for the record here, I think Polite, he a low-key comment, even though he does have, that's the shame about a lot of these cats. They have good ideas, and they're right on a lot of situations and circumstances, man. But I think, especially me, coming up in the hood and working in the prisons, I always have a red flag up when a nigga talk too fast and talk too slick. And a lot of these cats, they have made a way in life by being an eloquent speaker, and they know the power of their speech, and it kind of goes to their head, and they kind of get what they want by speaking how they speak, and so they kind of just, they go off the rails by getting into some elitism, some egotism, because they got the gift of gab, and they just pretty much say fuck the next man, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna get mine, nigga, get yours. So like when it comes to your Umars, when it comes to your Polites, when it comes to any of these niggas, man, that's up here that's speaking what they speak, I don't trust none of them, nigga, because that's just my experience in the streets. Niggas that talk real slick and talk too slick. So I went on the record about Umar, shit, man, we did these podcasts like a year or two ago. When I first seen the nigga, when I first heard the nigga talk, I'm like, this nigga is a con man. This nigga, he's got good ideas and his knowledge is impeccable, but when it comes to actually taking money and doing what the fuck he's supposed to do with it, he on some nigga shit, man. I know all the nigga shit characteristics. And did you see when he was, of course, he was, and that segues into the next joint between him and Sarasu Seti. You familiar with that situation, right?
I'm familiar with it, yes.
Yeah, well, man, he just came all out of pocket, man. He just got mad niggerish on Seti, man. You know what I mean? He's no longer Umar the scholar, but now he's like Umar the gangster, and he's talking all crazy, and, he bitch
what
nigga.
The real truth is, Mac?
What's up?
He always was Umar the gangster.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. That's true. Yep.
That's who he was all along. But let's say this.
Yeah.
People's humanity is complicated.
Right.
And I can understand how it is. And in some instances, I have to look at the other side. See, I understand how it is when you're dealing with, again, the people that are on the margins. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, as you well know, working in the prisons, you can't talk to them niggas with lollipops and gumdrops.
Nah, hell no.
Well, out here in the conscious community, you got the same type of niggas. You remember in, I think one of our prior podcasts, you had that image of Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
Jailhouse intellect.
Oswald Bates.
That's what you got out here,
Yeah.
You see? And these niggas are still criminal-minded.
Right.
And a lot of them, sad to say, they don't understand, they don't understand mediation. They don't understand. They don't have problem-solving skills. They don't have negotiation procedures. They don't understand negotiation procedures. They don't have problem-solving skills. The only thing that they understand is conflict, unfortunately.
Right.
The only thing they understand is conflict. So I can't necessarily berate him for going off.
Right.
I can't, because I have dealt with those kind of niggas before.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing they want is their way.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So I'm still looking into this. Well, I'm still wanting to get all the facts in.
Right.
What is the gist of the beef? What is the gist of the argument between the two?
Mm-hmm.
What are the facts surrounding the argument, and what their positions are before I come to any concrete decision one way or the other?
Right.
But I will say, in dealing with, especially, it seems like the more pro-black they are, the worse they are to deal with. And the reason I said that thing about the civil rights movement is you had black people across the strata, across every strata in working class black America that was participating in the movement. And where you got a balance of people across class lines, you can get some real change. When you got a bunch of thug niggas in an organization with an ideology that is misunderstood, you're going to have problems.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, my issue with Umar is not more or less the thing with Cyrus, but it doesn't surprise me because, again, I told you these niggas are savages, and they cannibalize their own movements and they cannibalize their own followers. This is not, I've seen this time and time again. I'm not shocked. What I am shocked about is I want to know what's the deal with this money in this school. That's what I want to know.
Shit, that motherfucker, he's spending that shit, man. You know, the funny thing,
that to me is more important than any type of gangster shit he got, any type of gangster shit that he's displaying with this Suit and Seti character.
Well, that is
more important to me.
Well, that's the whole point of the beef, man, because Seti brought up the fact that, like, nigga, you got the money, where's the school? You got the money, where's the school? And he said some other sideline shit about, you know, basically you using your position with these kids to try and get in, you know, these females' panties, you know what I'm saying? And I guess Umar took great offense to that. But I can see that, you know, with Umar, man. I mean, I see a OG, a player, you know what I'm saying? I see one. When I'm looking at Umar, you know, that's what I see.
I agree with you. I see it too.
Yeah.
I see it too. However, but I want to put in another possibility that maybe people have never considered.
Okay.
A lot of times you can come up with a great idea. You can have a lot of knowledge.
Right.
But there's something that Robert Greene calls deep thinking.
Okay.
Okay? What that means is you got this idea and you have that knowledge, but you have to put that idea and that knowledge to the test under every possible scenario you can think of.
All right.
Okay? So they'll come in with knowledge and they'll come in with a good idea, but there's no end game.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
They come in and there is no contingency or alternatives in place of what if. Tommy Sotomayor, when he was talking about that school, when he critiqued Omar, he said, now this man is telling you about something that there's no way he can make work. And Tommy Sotomayor brought up some basic concerns that are very practical, that are entirely practical. He said, now this man is telling you he needs $2 million to open this school. That's what he's telling you. He said, but where's the money going to come from for the utilities?
Right.
How is he going to pay the water bill? How is he going to pay the light bill? How is he going to pay all these things?
Right.
So he's telling you something that can't possibly play out when you look at practical consideration.
Yeah.
So if you can't, these are the questions that are, okay, you're going to take $2 million from people. You're going to take $2 million from people, and then you're going to turn around and open a school. Okay, well, how will this school pay for itself? Because it has to pay for itself if it's going to operate. You can't teach in the dark. You need power.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so why hasn't that been explained, you see? And these are the things that Tommy Sotomayor was saying raises red flags. And in this instance, I agree with him. It does raise a red flag. So you're out here asking people to donate, but you asking people to donate to what appears to be a half-baked, half-thought-out idea. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, you got people's money on this half-baked, half-thought-out idea. And according to you, you don't even have the money that you wanted to raise. He was trying for $2 million. It took him 2 or 3 years to get $750,000.
Right.
Okay, so if it took you 2 or 3 years to get $750,000, you're still walking around here talking about a school. And of course, I'm going to the campus in Georgia, y'all. This campus looking very good. You gonna buy it or what?
Yeah, boy, he good, man. This nigga good, boy.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you see this and critical people start looking at you, and then this is another thing, pro-black niggas hate for you to be critical. They hate for you to critique. They hate critique. Right. They can't stand critique. There's nothing wrong with constructive critique, but they campus. Okay, but where's the plan to acquire the campus? Because for $750,000, Dr. Umar Johnson can go to a little city called Citronelle, Alabama, and purchase 3 schools.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
With $750, he can purchase 3 schools and have the money to pay the power bill and have the money to pay the water, the gas, and all the other stuff. He can purchase buildings and renovate them and turn them into schools. Okay? And he would have enough money for that school to go through at least maybe a couple of years. Maybe. But it would show people that you're getting started, other than you just popping up, doing this dog and pony show in front of a school. I'm here, y'all. I'm here, y'all. It's looking mighty good. Okay, what does that mean?
He's slick, man. He wagging the dog. And another thing, right, in the course of him doing this video addressing the General SETI, right, he got caught, man, doing some stupid shit. Are you familiar with the whole phone call scenario?
So when somebody called him when he was going off?
Yeah. Somebody allegedly called him when he was going off, and he pretended to be answering the phone. And, you know, he was pretending like he had goons on the other line. And he was like, no, don't worry. I got this. But while he had the phone up to his ear, the phone was still ringing. So he never answered the phone. He was never actually talking to nobody. He was never actually talking to no goons. And so little shit like that lets you know this nigga's a con man. This nigga.
Yeah, he got caught staging some theater.
Yeah.
He got caught putting on an act for niggas.
Yeah, man. And so if that nigga will put on something that small, you know what I mean, as an act, bruh, you know, on a grand scale, just think what this nigga's doing on a grand scale. You know what I'm saying?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah,
I told you, these pro-black niggas are savages. That's the short definition. That's the short explanation. These pro-black niggas are savages. And again, if you look at the history of African civilizations and African societies, those societies were not formed around one person. There was not a basis for a head nigga in charge. It was a communal aspect. It was a communal thing. The Africans' concept of leadership was entirely different than what they're doing. So what I'm saying when I bring up that example is they're out of step with the history of their own people. So how could it be anything but fucked up?
Shit,
you understand?
Yeah, I can attest to that. Because, I mean, like, with this shit that's going on right now, of course, this is like, this is old news as far as I'm concerned. Because you're familiar with the porn wars, right? When it was like me, Dope Man, Trash Man, Mr. Wriggler, who else? Wouncy, Foul. You know, we all at one point was trying to do stuff, you know what I mean, together, man. But, you know, even that nigga Mr. No Good, man, you know, there was a lot of crab in a barrel ass shit going on with all of us, and we could never get shit done because niggas was always arguing and beefing and fighting. It was just unreal, man. So the shit that I'm seeing played out on social media right now, you know, to a lot of niggas that's new to this social media shit, it ain't nothing new to me, man. I already knew that it was going to come a time when these cats, you know, when they fleshed out their own little areas, that they was going to come to blows, man, because these niggas is like, you know, it's like pit bulls guarding a pork chop, man. You know, it's like, mine. I'm the man. I'm the boss. You know what I mean? I'm the best. You know, it was just like, God damn, boy. Niggas cannot work together for shit. They can't do it. It's weird. It's weird as shit, man.
Yeah, then you got to look at the sector of people involved.
Right.
I keep coming back to that.
Right.
That's important. You got to look at the sector of people involved. It's the people that have been the most deprived. It's the motherfuckers that are the most thirsty.
Right.
You ain't gonna. My mother had the old folks had a saying, and my mother had a saying. Whenever, like, some of my friends in elementary or middle school would throw a party, they would have like a pool party at the end of the summer. You know, some of the white kids, and I would go out to their pools just like the black kids did. And what was that city in Texas, McKinley?
Yeah, right.
And I would go out there, and my mother would be like, "Okay, Tony, you're going out there. Don't act like you ain't used to shit."
Okay.
And that's what you got. You got a bunch of niggas that ain't used to shit.
Okay.
And when niggas are not used to shit, this is how they act. They're not used to attention. They're not used to acclaim. They're not used to celebrity. Because that's all social media is celebrity.
Right.
It's not fame, it's celebrity.
Man.
They're not used to that.
Hell no, man. All right, well, let me ask you this. Moving down the line.
Let me finish before we go there.
Okay, go ahead.
What I was saying is, a lot of these ideas that they're coming up with, they're not thought out properly.
All right.
So there's no way they can be executed properly. So, of course, it's going to be a cash dash, man. Of course they're going to fatten their pockets with it because there's no way that they can execute most of this shit they talking about. Of course they're going to pad their pockets.
Right.
Yeah, they freed Huey. And then Huey came out and they wanted Huey to free them. And I keep trying to tell people, I said, people, realize your power. That was the true power of the people. You freed me. You freed Huey. Now why don't y'all just go on and free yourself? But they can't do that, can they? They can't do that. Because your people always have to create what they call a leader. And the leader is everything that the people want to be, but the leader is everything that the people can never be. So then when the leader fails, just like the leader going to fail every time. He's just flesh and blood. He's going to fail. When the leader fails, then the whole construction of the concept of leadership fails, and then it just becomes a matter of contempt. And that's when they assassinate you. Then they put your image on a postage stamp so they can keep licking you in the grave. And I really don't think the leadership per se is something we're going to be used in the future. I really don't. I don't see any leaders in my future. You see any leaders in your future? Look in the White House, in the Oral Office. You see any leaders in your future? What did Bob Dylan song say? Don't follow leaders, watch your what? Parking meters. Even Karl Marx himself said, I myself am not a Marxist. I think Groucho Marx said the same thing. That's why I tell the people, I said, people, I can't be your leader. I can't be your symbol. I can't be your idol. I can't be your icon. I can't be your revolutionary poster. But I mean, I can't be your hero. Hero's nothing but a sandwich. I don't want to appear to you like I'm a fake. I don't want to play the fake on you. But really, people, come on, realize this. I'm just what they call a regular human being. And
on a small or minuscule scale, at a micro level and a macro level. Because these ideas have not been fully fleshed out. They haven't sat here. They're not used to what happens in the face of contingencies. Or what happens if this problem arises? What happens if you can't get? What do you do with people's money after 2 years if you hadn't made the goal? What do you do in a community where niggas really ain't interested in anything having to do with intelligence? What do you do with that money in a culture of stupidity? What you think his answer gonna be? Put it in my motherfucking pocket.
Yeah, man.
You think he gonna give it back?
Nah, man. Shit.
So, I mean, the shit, they're good ideas and they got good information, but the shit doesn't pan out in a real world scenario complete with problems and obstacles and scenarios. And so, because they haven't thought it out that deep, they doing what any roguish nigga would do. They put the money in their pockets and come and spin it and come up with explanations. So Polite looks like he just scammed niggas and now he out in California chilling.
Yeah.
Umar look like he just got niggas for $750,000 and now he just gone completely gangster.
Hell no, man. All right, check it out. When we go on to the next batch of niggas.
Yep.
All right, well, I need your opinion on what do you think is going on between Obsidian Ali, O'Shea Drew Jackson, and Angry Man?
Well, that's very simple.
Okay.
That's a very simple thing.
All right.
That is another replay, a sad replay of the nerds versus the street niggas.
Okay. All right.
Is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I knew that Obsidian and Angry Man weren't going to be able to exist for long.
Okay.
I knew it.
Right.
Because I know what Obsidian's platform and his profile is, regardless as to, I can listen to a person and I can tell you where they're going.
Yeah.
And I can tell you where the linchpin of their movement is. And I could tell you that there was going to be a conflict between Angry Man and Obsidian. Reason why? Obsidian is on that conservative ideology.
Right.
That was going to be a problem right there. That conservative ideology was going to be an issue. And that stuff about the stuff he was saying about police brutality, and some of it was true, his criticisms about police brutalities and black runs. I knew that was going to be a problem.
Right.
But I also knew where Angry Man stood.
Yeah.
Angry Man got that thin-skinned street nigga mentality. Anything you say about street niggas is offensive to him. No matter how true it is.
Okay.
If you have any criticism of street niggas, you got a problem with him. Because he's a street nigga.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if you had any type of criticism of street niggas, he was going to be in your ass. I knew it wasn't going to last. See, they were only able to unite because both of them were criticizing black people, but that's the only thing they had in common philosophically. So it was only going to be a matter of time before they fell out.
Hell nah, man.
And with Mr. O'Shea Duke Jackson, I have just started to listen to his podcast, and I find him to be somewhat balanced, but I still need more information and analysis of his stuff before I can come to any concrete conclusion.
Okay.
But he appears to be balanced in his critique in that he goes after the liberals, he goes after the conservatives, he goes after everybody.
Okay.
He is not a cheerleader either way.
Okay.
And I like that about him.
Okay.
But I knew when he started talking, and it wasn't a bad idea what he was talking about, but I knew that was going to get him in trouble in the present climate.
Talking about saving the hood. You talking about when he was talking about the good brothers need to step up and save the hood.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be a problem.
Right.
You know, because niggas is like a polite dog. Polite said, fuck these niggas, I'm out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Obsidian is saying, you know, fuck these bitches, I'm out.
Right.
Fuck the black community, I'm out.
Well, what do you say? Well, I don't know. I guess we covered that, but you on the same accord, right? You like, fuck that, I'm out, right?
I'm out.
I'm out.
But it's not, we have different reasons, man.
Yeah.
We have different reasons. Because, again, one thing I don't want to do, sometimes you got to make a distinction because, again, the devil is in the details.
Mm-hmm.
Obsidian's point of view is this. The hood is fucked up because bitches chose to fuck thugs.
Right.
They didn't give the square niggas that can build the community, i.e. himself,
right,
a chance. He ain't even talking about all women. He only talking about the attractive ones. And that's what makes him look disingenuous.
Okay.
That's what the problem is in his play. It makes him look like an angry little dude that mad because the fly bitches didn't give him no pussy.
All right.
And that is a strike in the eyes of a lot of people on YouTube.
All right.
Even though some of his criticisms, a lot of his criticisms, 80% of his criticisms are valid.
Mm-hmm. But
he never addresses anything outside of the sexual practices of black women.
All right.
So that would lead one to conclude that you just fixated on fucking pretty bitches and you just mad because the same criticism that would be leveled toward us. Oh, you niggas only talking about that power trick. You only talking about, you know, niggas fucking bitches, niggas who's in jail, fucking, you know, these bitches who got niggas in jail because y'all couldn't get no pussy back. And the same criticism that they would level at us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with him, it becomes more pronounced because that's all he's talking about. All he's talking about, for the most part, is who attractive black women are fucking. So when he talks about, you know, why, you know, he wouldn't go back to the hood, and he shapes it around the sexual practices of black women, that's a bit hollow.
Right.
Whereas I'm saying I'm out because the community at large don't seem to be interested in trying to rebuild itself.
Right.
That's my point. And my point is that the community, if you want to rebuild yourself, you got to make some sacrifices. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You can't just ask people to come back that have worked hard and are now enjoying the fruits of their laurels and of their labors to come back and toil for someone else who is not concerned about the outcome of that community. That's my position.
Shit.
If you ain't got no skin in the game, don't impose that duty on someone else.
Check it out. I just had a beta male moment on Tinder, Christmas Eve. It was hilarious, man. These women had no shame, man. I had one of these females hit me up. Was like, hey, baby, you know, it was a female I ain't talked to in maybe like 3 months. All of a sudden, she just texts me, right? She's like, hey, baby, what you doing? Haven't talked to you in a while. And already, I'm thinking, you know how we get down, man. We got that power trick spidey sense. We like, this bitch wants something. This bitch wants something. So I'm like, okay, I'm hitting her. I'm like, well, hey, what's up with you? I ain't heard from you in a while. You know what I mean? And she was like, oh, I've been good. Yeah. So we make small talk. I'm just waiting on the bitch to drop the hammer, right? And she was like, oh, yeah, I'm over here, and I'm putting together some of this stuff for my kids. I'm putting together this dollhouse, and I'm trying to put together this basketball rim, but I'm having problems. I really should have had someone put it together for me and paid them or something. And I was just like, yeah, you should have. Because I knew where she was going. That bitch wanted me to come over there and put that shit together, man. Like, bitch, I ain't never even met you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm like, what? The nerve of this bitch, man. Want me to come over on Christmas Eve and just put together all sorts of shit for your kid. Bitch, I don't know you. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, yeah, you should have goddamn paid somebody put that shit together, bitch. I ain't coming over there busting a sweat for you. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And that's Obsidian's point. Yeah. And he's right about that.
Yeah.
I agree with him on that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But to transpose that across the board and to make that as your central piece,
right?
I don't know about that. You understand?
Yeah, man.
So Duke Jackson, when he was saying going back, because Duke Jackson is, you could see that he has some activist tendencies. He's an activist kind of dude.
Right.
Whereas people that have been in that role and they've been worn out, you know, niggas just wore you out.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from the position of somebody like you that done been in that prison. Them niggas will wear you down, will they not?
Oh, my God, man. Hell yeah. That
you know,
stressful.
You in there trying to be righteous and they squirting piss on you. You in there trying to see that they get a halfway decent shake and they fucking over you.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah, man.
Like you more concerned about their welfare than they are.
Man.
See, that's why I said I'm done.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand?
Right.
That's why I said I'm out. And I believe that is also the reason why Polite is saying he's out, because he's tired.
Yeah.
You get tired, just like you. You got tired. You said, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, nigga, I bounced, man. I like, these niggas is crazy, man. The goddamn inmates and the goddamn staff. Man, black folks is fucked up. I got more love and more help from them white folks, man, than them niggas, man. It was crazy. I couldn't understand it. But go ahead, man.
Well, yeah, I can. You know who? You know, my chess club is getting off the ground. You know who was the first person to drop a donation?
Shit, they had
all of them white.
Yeah, they had fair skin. That's right.
All of them white.
Niggas ain't gonna give you
shit,
shit, man.
You go to a nigga and ask for some shit like that, they looking at you like you crazy.
Shit.
I went to that motherfucker over there on the west side who we talked about in the prior podcast.
Yeah. He ain't give you nothing? He ain't give you nothing?
Nothing, not a
what?
dime.
This nigga got millions.
Not a dime. But the first people to drop that bread was them white folks.
God damn, boy.
See?
Now that's super petty. He trying to he trying to help you out with your chess club by giving you a free meal, huh? Breakfast.
Yeah, that's his donation. Just give me a free breakfast.
God damn, boy. Well,
that type shit. So when we say, or when people say, well, they don't want to go back to, it's for various reasons. It's not solely because of the mating practices of black women.
Okay.
It's because, one, the politics of the community prevents the community from seeing any value in you trying to help them. To borrow your words, the IQ.
IQ, nigga.
The IQ of the niggas there prevents them from seeing any value or any worth in what you bring bringing to the table.
Shit.
So why are you going to be a martyr for them when these niggas will burn you?
Man.
They will say, crucify him and release the murderer. They got more love for the niggas in jail.
Yeah.
They got more love for niggas in deviant cultures with deviant alternative lifestyles than they got for the so-called squares and lanes. That's the culture.
Oh, hell, man.
So why would anyone want to martyr themselves? I mean, let's look at it. They can say what they want to, but Martin Luther King gave the highest, he made the ultimate sacrifice. And there's more crime and there's more violence on any street named Martin Luther King than there is any street in the suburb.
Yeah.
There's more violence, more fuckery on Martin Luther King Boulevard than any street in any city in the United States.
Wow, man.
You guarantee to see somebody get shot on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
The irony.
Yeah, it's synonymous with criminal. Here's a man about nonviolence and peace, but the most violent shit in the world is taking place on a street named after him. And they say, well, it's because of economics. It's because of economics. It's because of economics. Yeah, right.
The excuses just keep coming, man. Just keep coming.
You know. So when people are saying, no, they don't want to contribute, it has nothing to do with a disdain for the black. It has to do with people with whom the black community has shown a disdain for.
So
and that's why a lot of people are saying, fuck it.
So basically, this whole thing between Obsidian and Angry Man, you know, you would see it as something being petty because it's back. Once again, it's back to the square nigga versus the street nigga, and that's all it is. And that's all it is.
That's all it is. It's the square nigga versus the street. That's all it is. And then when you have Obsidian trying to flex here and there,
right?
You see what I'm saying?
Some low key shit.
And so what Angry Man and the rest of them are saying, what they want to say, he probably won't come out and say it. Dude, you ain't no street nigga.
Okay.
You ain't no street. It's just like Tommy Sotomayor and Tariq.
Right.
Dude, you ain't no street nigga.
Right.
Watch what you ain't no street nigga. But they're just a bit more diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Angry Man is a bit more diplomatic about his disapproval and his discontent. He's very diplomatic about it. But you can tell what he's saying, look, nigga, you really ain't about that.
Okay.
You know, when he said, if you got anything to say about street niggas, fuck you. I knew right then he wasn't going to be able to coexist with that dude.
Right.
Because this is the same dude that did a podcast that said that we should have a broken glass or burnt earth policy with respect to street niggas. Obsidian said this.
Wow. Okay.
And when I heard him say that, I said, oh, that's not going to go well.
He's like, oh, you done stepped on some toes with that one, huh?
I knew. I said, that's not going to go well. Because the majority of these podcasters, the majority, not all,
right,
but the majority of them are street niggas. You know, and then when O'Shea Duke Jackson did that analysis of why, you know, short men hate
O'Shea,
him.
right.
I said, oh. And then Angry Man did a podcast where he all but called him out, but didn't call him out by name.
Yeah.
When Angry Man said, you know, I sat down and I talked to you and you was talking about people having, you know, a short man complex or a complex, he said you was really talking about yourself.
Damn.
So that let me know that Angry Man had been sizing him up and had spotted the chinks in his armor a long time ago.
Man.
See, so you had the seeds of dissension even when they were in communion with each other. Shit. It wasn't going to last.
Yeah, he was on Obsidian's radio show and everything. Then all of a sudden, man, everything, he got blown to smithereens. I'm like, boy, niggas is turning on each other. Boy, niggas is...
You could tell how it was going because I could tell the things he was saying.
Yeah.
I said, now, that stuff he's saying, I said, you know, Angry Man he gonna take offense to that. You can tell. because by the way he's saying, and it's shaped around his bitterness, his resentment or the past experience of him not being chose by the most attractive women. We can dance around that all day long, but that's what it is.
All right, well, let me know what your opinion is on the beef that happened between Angry Man and Hardcore Tito. What's your thoughts on that? What?
Again, the thing is, it's largely around, it's some nigga shit.
Yeah, nigga shit.
It's like, let me see, how can I explain this? There was a part, you never saw the spook that sat by the door.
I see bits and pieces.
Okay. There was a clip in there where Freeman is talking to Pretty Willie, the light-skinned black dude who can pass as white.
Okay.
And he said, Pretty Willie asked him, he said, I don't understand, man. What you in this for, man? Are you in this for revenge or what? And Freeman told him, he said, look, man, I just want to be free. Mm-hmm. And then Pretty Willie said, well, I do too, and I hate white folks. Mm-hmm. And Freeman looked at him and said, hate white folks? He said, this ain't about hating white people. This is about loving freedom well enough to die and kill for it if necessary. He said, now, if you feel like that, you ain't no use to us, and you're not any use to anybody else. Mm. He said, now, you ever kill a man, Willie? He said, no. He said, when you spill a man's guts into the gutter, you see how fast hate dissipates. He said, and I don't suspect you will like that. He said, but some of the Cobras will. And then he names one of the Cobras in particular. He says, Stud will. He says, why Stud? Because Stud is a killer. Mm-hmm. He don't know it yet, but he is. Now, what is my point in using the scenario from that movie? Here's my point. You got some of these niggas, again, going back to what I said, they are rabid and they are savages. Mm. And they are, each one seems to be more extreme and more to the right of the one that came before.
Right.
If you want to think Angry Man is hardcore, listen to Tito.
Right.
Listen to Jack. Mm. They even more extreme than he is.
Okay.
Or they come across as more extreme than he is. You see?
Right.
So I say that to say that a lot of this beef is made up because they are personality clashes. They will latch on to somebody's anger or indignation about a specific topic because it resonates with them. But there's more anger and there's more rage and there's more savagery with them than it is with the person that they're listening to. And every word that they hear from that person fuels their extreme behavior to the point where these niggas become basic psychopaths. And then they start clashing with each other. Oh, you done gone soft. You done gone soft. You know. It started with him, I suspect,
right,
when he did that little thing with Crystal and Karis.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know. And he said he was sorry about calling her a bitch. Yeah. Well, to them niggas, you know, they're dogmatic. Fuck that bitch, nigga. Why you kissing up to that? Why you brown nosing up to that bitch?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
His principle was, look, I didn't know you. Perhaps I was wrong. Dare he think that maybe he did something wrong and he wanted to be the bigger man. But to those niggas that live off of that hate and that animosity, the studs of YouTube that live off of that type of aggression and animosity and beef and drama, oh, you done gone soft. Mm-hmm. So now you done gone soft and you got an audience and we competing on YouTube. So fuck you. I want your audience by being more extreme than you are.
It was interesting to see how these motherfuckers turned on Angry Man at the drop of a hat, nigga. Just because of that little ass shit. I was like, boy, Angry Man gonna learn, boy. These niggas as a whole ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit, man. Like, he was putting in all this work, doing all these good videos, cranking out all this good content that, niggas like, you know what I mean? They like 99% of shit he was doing. That 1% that he did something that they didn't like. Oh, nigga, fuck you, nigga, you soft, nigga. I'm like, God damn, boy, woo.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
He made the mistake of trying to be civil.
Yeah.
Amongst a bunch of damn wolves.
Man.
You see.
Mm-hmm.
He made the mistake. And that's just his maturity.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just his maturity. And he made the mistakes of trying to be civil to the rest of these niggas that are basic fucking psychopaths.
Mm-hmm.
This is the prototype. These are the prototypes of the niggas you got in the conscious community. And that's why it's so much beef.
Wow.
You can't resolve anything with niggas like this. You can't. What did the motherfucker say in the Boondocks? He said, a nigga moment. The only thing that will solve a nigga moment is prison.
Hell nah. Man.
And that's what all this beef is. It's a succession of nigga moments. It's a succession, an endless circle of just nigga moments.
Damn, man.
You know, of people just voicing their grievances over petty shit based in personality conflicts. That's all.
Man. Oh, yeah, these niggas got the nerve to be steady talking about black women, man, and how they fucked up, man. And then you turn around and you see this nonsense going on between all the men, and not just the so-called figureheads of the conscious community, but the pom-pom cheerleading ass niggas that's under them. Each one got their own little clique, own little crew, you know what I mean? Each crew and each clique going in each other's comment sections and talking shit. It's wild, man. I'm like, these supposed to be grown-ass niggas, man. Come on, man.
Again, like you said, that's behavior that, we subscribe that behavior to women. Because you know how these bitches are we deal with.
Hell yeah.
Fuck her.
Yeah.
So 1 minute, that's my bitch. I'll die for her. And then the next minute, they at each other's throats.
Trying to fuck each other's men and shit. Talking about each other's kids. Like,
yeah.
Damn. Come on with this shit, girl. For real, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay then, man. Shit.
It's just a mirror of the dysfunction that we got going on in the community. That's all. They're a reflection of that dysfunction.
Shit. Okay. Well, on the record, I'm gonna just go once again. I'm gonna reiterate. Umar's a con artist. Polite is a con artist. I mean, damn, man. Shit. I mean, like I said, I'm just tired of being right, man. I'm tired of being correct. And you ain't gonna see no school from this nigga. And Polite was scamming niggas, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing what he's supposed to do on the business end, sending people their shit, man. And unfortunately, these cats, they are intelligent. They do have a lot of valid points. And they are, like I say, they are the vanguard as far as the conscious community is concerned with the shit they disseminate. But
no, they're not.
Shit.
No,
in the conscious community, they're not?
No, they're not.
So who's better than?
That's not any. Look, these are dudes. I'll give you that.
Right.
The stuff they spit, yes, their cadence and their style. These are niggas that can talk. They're not vanguard of anything. They're not a vanguard of anything.
So who are the vanguards in the conscious community?
There is no vanguard. There is no such thing as a fucking vanguard. You just got a bunch of niggas trying to carve out their turf on social media. There is no vanguard.
There is none.
There is none.
Zero, nigga.
Zero.
Oh, man.
This is niggas hustling, trying to create a platform for themselves. There is no vanguard. There is no conscious community, man. It's just niggas out there ascribing abstract philosophies that have no relevance to everyday people's lives.